All right. Sorry about that, you guys. Sorry about the confusion. So, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, Real Talk Recovery, where we talk about recovery from addiction and I share my life with you. My name's Nicole and I'm an addict, and my sobriety date is July 13th of 2015, and I do utilize medically assisted treatment. I'm currently at dropped down from 12 milligrams to 4 milligrams. And I'm documenting my taper, and you guys know about that. Let me plug this in so that way we don't lose battery. Lord help us all. Okay, hey Jamie. Hey everybody. Okay, welcome everybody. Come on in and have a seat. Greet your neighbor. Yes, we rebooted. Sorry about that, you guys. Oh, gotta put my spectacles on so I can see what y'all are saying. Hey Douglas, what's up, buddy? I'm glad you caught me again too. Hey Ian, y'all all come in, have a seat. What's up, Bama Chick? I miss you, girl. I'm glad you're here. What's up, Bama Chick? That's one of my ride or die old schools. Bama Chick, Jamie, Ian, y'all been with me since day one. A1 since day one. So, what's up, Great Dane? Thanks for being here. What's up, Margie? Hey, Daniel. Thanks for being here. All right. Yeah. Everybody come in, have a seat. We are going to talk about mental health and recovery. We're going to talk about what it's like to get sober and not know how to live your life without drugs. And we're going to talk about that today. We're going to interact with each other. You guys, we're going to do this together. I want you all to comment and tell me what you struggled with. I want you guys to share with me if you have any mental illnesses, or if you don't have mental illness, anything that's going on in your life that goes along with recovery and addiction. The reason we are focusing on mental health today is because one of my subscribers commented under my community post and was like, her exact words was that she used drugs and alcohol to self-medicate. And now that she's sober, she doesn't know how to live her life without self-medicating. And so it's a hard transition. And when I saw her comment underneath the community post, all I could think of was, damn, ain't that shit the truth? Because I feel the same way. It's been such a hard transition for me to learn how to live my life without self-medicating. Even with stupid stuff, you guys, like overtaking my Suboxone or overtaking, caffeine pills, which are just generic over-the-counter caffeine. So as an addict, a lot of the times my addiction will manifest itself in other areas of my life with anything, really. I can be addicted to food, gambling, sex, money, men. And so after you get sober, and I'm sure you guys will be able to relate, a lot of us have struggles when we get sober because we don't know how to cope with life on life's terms. We don't know how to just do life. Life is not going to get easier when you get sober, you guys. Now it's going to be a little bit better for you. There you go. Sorry, it's going to be a little bit more easy for you to handle, but it's not going to be, life's not going to get easy. What up? All right. Okay. Sorry, guys. Release the hounds. Sorry. What's up, Brianne? What's up, girl? Welcome to the channel. Sorry, y'all. I have 3 dogs. If you didn't know that. Okay. Yeah, we have 2 little ones and a big one. We used to have 4 dogs, but Gizmo passed away this year. Wow, does Xanax ruin me now? I have such bad anxiety, but taking it one day at a time. Junior, that's really, honestly, Junior, that's been my experience with Xanax too. After I got off of it, it was like my anxiety was exacerbated. It was even worse than it was before I got on it. And I was prescribed Xanax for legitimate anxiety. I actually got prescribed it when I was working at the revenue office. I was just watching your journey on Suboxone. I'm on methadone. What's up, girl? That's awesome. I'm so proud of you. You know what? we just got to do whatever's best for our own recovery. And, you know, some people use Suboxone, some people use methadone, some people are abstinent, and that's just, it's really a personal journey. So don't let anybody ever shame you. All right. Don't let anybody tell you that you're not worthy or your recovery is not good enough or anything like that. Don't be like I was, because when I first got into recovery, I started sharing about being on Suboxone, and a lot of people shamed me for that. And I went and hid in a cave. And so don't do that. Okay. You stand tall, and you got lots of support here, because we support you no matter what here on Real Talk Recovery. I hope you guys know that. Okay. So let me get focused. Everybody come in, everybody have a seat. I hope you guys are all having an amazing Wednesday. How many of you guys watched the video I uploaded today about how I felt and what I was thinking before, after, and during prison? I was thinking, I was sitting here at the house, and I was like, I want to put up a video, but I want it to be different. I don't want it to be like all these other prison channels, and I'm not shading any of them, but what I wanted to focus on was how I felt in that moment when I went, and what I was thinking. And I can tell you guys, when I was in prison, all I could think about was how I failed at life, how I had failed myself, how I failed my family, how I failed me. And that was the worst feeling. Hey, we see you. That was the worst feeling in the whole wide world. And I carried that feeling around with me for years and years, even up until this. I just started working through that the whole feelings of being a failure and being ashamed. And that's part of the mental health journey that I've been taking, is that I've gotten to a point, you guys, where shame no longer serves me. All right. I can't let shame and guilt take over my life. And that's what I've been working really, really hard on, helping you guys and helping myself to remember that, you know what, everybody makes mistakes. No one is perfect. And we don't need people in our lives that are going to shame us or try to make us feel less than or anything like that. And so that's the mission I've been on lately here, is to overcome shame. And I know you guys have been noticing that, because I've been talking a lot about it in my videos. So, mental health. First of all, I want to tell you guys, disclaimer, I am not a doctor. I am not a therapist. I am not a counselor. I am a recovering drug addict, and I am sharing my experience getting sober and staying sober with you. Okay? I do not have all the answers. I am not a know-it-all. And I am in no way telling you that you need to do exactly what I've done, because you got to remember, everyone is different. Okay? So please, you guys, keep that in mind. If I say something and you're like, wait a second, I haven't done that, just remember, this is my personal experience, and I'm here to suggest things to you. And if you think that they might be a good fit, then you can give them a try. Bam, bam, bam. Okay? All right. So first and foremost, let me talk to you guys about my mental health journey. Okay? Okay. When I was about 13 years old, I started to go through a depression. Okay? I really didn't know that's what it was called. Okay? I just knew that I felt uncomfortable. I felt like I didn't fit in. I felt like I wasn't good enough. And I started to talk with my mom and dad about that. Okay? My mom mostly. And so by the time I was about 14 or 15, okay? Hey, Frankie. Hey, guys, will you guys give Frankie the Real Talk Recovery phone number and the Real Talk Recovery email, okay? Frankie, if you'll text me or email me, I can help you with that, okay? So the phone number is 501-991-5149. And Frankie, I see you. I'm not ignoring you. Just text me when you're ready, and I'll help you, okay? So, okay. So I made my first doctor's appointment with my general practitioner, okay? My GP, my doctor that had known me since I was born, okay? And so I went in to see my doctor, and me and my mom, talked with him, and we shared with him how I was feeling and what I was going through. And I remember it like it was yesterday, because I remember getting on the medication. Okay, so the first medication that I was ever put on as a young adult was Paxil. Okay, Paxil. Now, it was for generalized anxiety and depression, not severe depression, just like, I guess it was I don't know how they characterized it back then, but it was just depression and anxiety. And so I got put on Paxil. So I started taking the Paxil, and as a kid, as a young girl, I know for a fact that I didn't take it as prescribed. Like, I was taking it here, then I'd skip a dose there, then I'd take a dose here, then I'd skip a dose there. And so I don't remember having any good experiences with it. The only thing I remember, you guys, is trying to come off of it cold turkey and being sick as a dog. My eyes were going like this. It was just a bad experience altogether. So when I was about 17, I went back to the doctor, and that's when I got changed from Paxil to Zoloft. Okay. Now, I did stay on Zoloft for about 2 or 3 years, and I took it as it was prescribed. But I don't remember any miraculous changes. And this is where I think I went wrong. Okay. Back whenever I was younger, 17, I had just started getting into dabbling with drugs. Okay. And so the only thing that I was doing was taking the Zoloft and then expecting to be cured, expecting to be okay. Okay, so that the Zoloft wasn't doing it was doing its part, I'm sure, but I wasn't doing my part. And then I got into my addiction and started using drugs, started getting high. Frankie, the number, do you have a pen? 501 991 5149. I'm going to say it one more time. 501 991 5149. And you can text me if you feel more comfortable, or you can call me. It's whatever you want to do, man. But I got you, okay? As soon as I end this live stream, I'll check my text messages, and you will be the first person I call back, I promise. Oh, the email is DEMEON@yahoo.com. So, okay. So, 17 years old, I started abusing drugs, and so basically I was high every day, all day. So the Zoloft, if it was working, I wouldn't be able to tell you guys. So before I ever started using drugs and alcohol, I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety and depression. And so, it's important for you guys to know that mental illness runs in my family. Okay. My uncle is schizophrenic. My sister has a bipolar disorder. There's just a lot of mental illness and addiction that runs in my family. So that's just so you know that. So I started to self-medicate, obviously, with drugs and alcohol. All those feelings of depression and low self-esteem and not feeling like I fit in. And a lot of the times, you guys, I would get this, like, I can't even explain it as, it's just be like this, I guess it would be anxiety, but it was such an overwhelming just burst of like, you know what I mean? And then it would go away, and then it would come back, almost like when you get a panic attack and that everything starts pumping through you. I would have moments like that. And so I've always struggled with anxiety bad. And that's what got me into taking Xanax. And so the reason I'm telling you guys this is because at the beginning, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know to get help. I'm on Lexapro right now. You're okay. I didn't know to seek out therapy. I didn't know to talk about what I was going through. The only thing I knew was to go to the doctor, get some medicine, and then the medicine was supposed to fix it. And that's really what I thought. And I think that's what my mom and dad thought too, you know? We didn't understand, and the same thing happened with my little sister until we were able to get her diagnosed with bipolar. We just thought, that you take this medicine, it'll make you better, and then everything will be okay, and that's just not how it works. With mental illness, you can get on these medications to help you, but it really does take a lot of work. It takes a lot of, go into therapy, get with a psychiatrist or psychologist, doing internal like work on your spiritual side, cognitive behavioral therapy. There's all kinds of different things that you can do that are going to help you to either maintain and be able to live a life where you're not in a constant state of anxiety and fear and depression, or even get better. You know what I mean? And so for me, I didn't realize that when I was younger, and by the time I started using, I had found the magic cure. How many of y'all can relate to that? How many of y'all can relate to the first time you found drugs and alcohol and you're like, hot damn, this is it. I'm never going back. This is all I need. This is all I need. All I need is these drugs. Is this shit right here. As long as I have drugs, that's all I need in my life. It's going to take me, and that's how I had become. I had become completely okay with being on dope, and that was going to make me better. That was going to cure the way I felt on the inside. And I really, really thought that I would be okay, And so 12 years of abusing hardcore drugs, injecting cocaine, injecting methamphetamine, injecting heroin and oxy, taking copious amounts of pills until I would absolutely be passed out, foaming at the mouth, drooling on myself, walking in a state of hallucinations at all times. There was a time in my life, you guys, where all I did was hallucinate. I couldn't even leave my house because when I walked out the door, everyone was after me. The police were out there, the FBI, all my blinds had these rips in them for me opening them up like that, and it was nuts. It was nuts. It was torture, but I kept doing it because that was the only way I knew how to cope. And that's what I thought was going to help me live my life and feel better until it stopped. And that's what happened. Drugs and alcohol, you guys, they eventually stop working, and you no longer get the relief that you were getting before. How many of you guys, drugs used to work for you, and then all of a sudden they stopped working, and then you're like, what the fuck, man? Hey, auntie, I see you. Drugs and alcohol stopped working, and you're like, where am I at now? Now I'm screwed, and I think that's kind of like what happened for me. They stopped working, and then when they stopped working, and what I mean by when I say stopped working is they stopped taking the pain away. They stopped blocking out the anxiety. They stopped taking away my sadness. They stopped making me be able to forget. And then what would happen is I would remember, and I couldn't forget that I left my family. I couldn't forget that I turned my back on my sisters and my mom and my dad. And the drugs, I couldn't take enough drugs to stop. I couldn't take enough drugs to forget the person that I had become. And then all these things that I would try to do to forget what I had become and to become somebody else. It only compounded the problem, and things just kept getting worse. And so when my son was taken, because that was my eye-opening experience, you guys. My eye-opening experience was having my child removed from my care. And that really had to happen for me, you guys, because if it didn't happen, I wouldn't have gotten sober, okay? And so having my son taken away from me opened my eyes just long enough to have hope that I could maybe change my life, okay? And B, know that if I didn't make a change and get help, that I was going to lose my son. Because here's the thing, y'all. I didn't care if I died, okay? I didn't care what happened to me. The only thing that I cared about was my son. So by having him taken from me, it woke me up. Now, that's when this whole mental health journey actually began. Because the whole time, all I was doing was blocking things out. That's what drugs did for me, is they kept me disconnected from reality so I didn't have to deal. Okay? And for me, somebody who is an overachiever, someone who goes the extra mile, that's exactly how I was when I was getting high. I was an overachiever on dope. I was an overachiever on getting high. And that's not the way I wanted to be. I wanted to be the person I knew I could be, the person I was before I started using drugs. Okay? The Nicole that could dance, the Nicole that played the piano and played the clarinet, the Nicole that spent time with her family and had friends that were good friends that actually cared about me, the Nicole that was caring and loving and would give you her shirt off her back, not junky Nicole. And that's what I had became. I had become this person who was a shell of myself. I wasn't even recognizable anymore. I couldn't even recognize myself. And I would have these moments when I would go into prison or jail, where I would have like clarity, and I would see all the mistakes I had made and how far down the tunnel I had fell, and I could only see out, but I couldn't get out of there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was so far down that I didn't know how to get out. I didn't even know where to start. So having my son taken away gave me enough time, you guys. It forced me into rehab. And I know a lot of you guys that struggle, when I talk to you guys, you're like, I don't want to go to treatment, or I can do it without it. And I'm here to tell you, okay, I want to tell you guys how many times I tried to get sober without treatment, okay? Over 100 times, okay? I have tried to white knuckle it and taper myself down and alienate myself and isolate myself from the dope heads and lock myself in my house and not go to the dope man's house. And I never have succeeded. I have never been able to get sober on my own, ever. Okay? When I finally got my son taken away and I went to treatment, that was the 5th rehab I had been to, you guys. The 5th one. And I'm going to tell you something right now. I knew all the things they were teaching. I knew them. Okay? I knew them. I learned that stuff. I knew about the disease of addiction. I knew that we lose the power of choice. I knew that I needed to work these steps. I knew that I needed to have a relationship with my higher power, but I wasn't putting those things into action in my life. I wasn't applying those things in my life because you know what? I didn't want to do what other people told me to do. I didn't want to take suggestions. I wanted to do what I wanted to do. And I have no idea how to do it. I was literally floundering for years trying to do things on my own, and I would fail, And so when I went into treatment, I had a psychological evaluation, okay? So the doctor evaluated me, and of course he came to the conclusion that I had the depression and the anxiety, and that's when they started me on Lexapro. They started me on about 5 milligrams of Lexapro while I was in treatment, okay? And it literally changed my life because while I was in treatment, I was taking this medication, I was actually getting counseling, and I was getting therapy, and I was having group sessions with other people, and we could all relate to each other. You know what I'm saying? I cannot tell you guys the power of process groups where you have 5-10 people in a group and you're all talking. One person shares, the next person shares, the next person shares. It is the most amazing feeling when you can sit in a circle with people and somebody shares something and you're like, I've done the same thing. And then everybody starts laughing and it's like, wow, I'm not alone. I'm not alone. I'm not some degenerate freak, and that's what I got when I was in there. I really got a foundation. I got some good group therapy, and it saved me. It helped me so much. But that was just the tip of the iceberg, okay? So I got on Suboxone when I came out of treatment. Y'all know the story. Um, they were like, if you don't stay sober and you relapse, we're taking your son away. So I got on maintenance medication, you guys, and that really helped me because by being on maintenance medication, now I have to see a psychiatrist, I have to have an addiction specialist, and I have to attend these meetings. Okay? And so that set me up for success. And so the reason why I'm sharing all this with you guys, um, hey Victoria, the reason I'm sharing this with you guys is because these are the things that set me on the right path, okay? With mental health, you need to put things into action. You need to have a support system. You need to have a therapist slash counselor. You need to have a doctor who understands your mental illness. If you have a mental illness, you need to have a doctor who understands addiction, okay? Because a lot of the times, like I was telling you guys at the beginning, we self medicate. All right. So sometimes we might be exhibiting, um, we might be exhibiting um, things that might look like we have bipolar, or things that might look like we have ADHD, or things that might look like we have, these different things that happen when we're abusing drugs, right? The way our bodies respond to drugs can also look like different things that happen when certain mental illnesses are present. Okay, so the first thing my doctor told me when I got out of treatment and I went for my psychological evaluation at my Suboxone clinic, this is what he told me. You haven't even been sober for a year, Nicole. We're going to do a psychological evaluation today, and then I'm going to follow up and we're going to do another one in 1 year. And then guess what happened after that one we did in 1 year? Then we did another one at my 2-year sobriety. Then we did another one at my 3rd-year sobriety. Okay? And ever since my second psychological evaluation, I have literally leveled out so much. Because at the beginning, when I was fresh and new and still very, very uncomfortable and scared, and I just didn't even know how to act like a regular person, you guys, when I first got sober. Okay? Like, seriously, I didn't even know how to go to the bathroom and not like chop up a line on the back of the toilet. I didn't even know how to go into the Walmart and not steal stuff. Okay? Like, I was straight tripping. I was a hot mess. Okay? So I didn't know how to act. And so what my doctor was, and this is why, we planned to have this video. I planned this video since Tuesday, you guys, and because one of my subscribers commented in the community tab. All right. So any of you guys that are, I need you to know that, like, this has been on my heart to talk to you guys about, because it's really important. When you're first sober, a lot of things might seem different than what they are, and you might still be healing. And so if you'll take my advice and go and see a doctor and see an addiction specialist and see somebody that you can sit down and you can talk to, it's going to help you so much. Because before, in my first year of sobriety, they thought I was bipolar. Okay? Because they mistaked my kind of nervous hyper tics as manic. All right? And I'm not manic at all. This is just me. This is me without any drugs. This is me sober. I'm just hype. I'm just on it. You know what I mean? Like, this is the way I've always been before I started using drugs. And I didn't feel comfortable in my own skin, so I used drugs to dull me down. I used drugs to change me because I didn't feel comfortable. But now I love the person I am. I love being a little bit of a live wire. I love being outgoing and talkative. I love having, I love my personality today. But before, I didn't know, I wasn't comfortable in my own skin, so I didn't know how to be, but these are the things that I embrace in my personality today, because it's what makes me me. It's what makes me special. We all have those. We all have special things about us that nobody else has. I love you too, Auntie Ro. And so I didn't realize that before. You know, I was ashamed of the way I was. My dad is the exact same way. If I ever have him on, if he'll ever do a video with me, you guys will see. I am literally my dad. um, but you know, I've always cried a lot. Okay, I'm very in tune with my emotions. I feel things so strongly, so strongly. When I see something that hurts someone else, it hurts me. I feel their pain. When I see someone struggling with a disease of addiction, I want to save them. I want to run and pick them up out of that and save them, you know? Because I relate to that pain. So the reason why I'm sharing this with you guys is because at the beginning, when I first got sober, you know, other people, even DHS, Child Protective Services, tried to deem me unfit because they were trying to say that I was bipolar and had something else. I don't even know what it was. But they were trying to say that because of these mental illnesses, that I was unfit to be a mother to my child. And if that had happened, if they had been able to pull that through, I wouldn't have my son today. You know? But thank God for my amazing doctor at the Suboxone Clinic, because he stood firm and he told them, she's been using drugs for 12 years. Of course she's acting crazy. Of course she's out of whack. Of course she's a little manic. Of course she's depressed. Of course she has anxiety. Of course she's awkward and doesn't know how to socialize with people. Because I had been getting high for so long, I didn't know how to do anything without dope. I had to fucking let all that shit go, and I had to start fresh and new. So, I want to share something else with you guys, okay? A lot of the times when we abuse stimulants like methamphetamine, cocaine, crack cocaine, Ritalin, Vyvanse, by abusing those drugs, okay, for many, many years, what can happen is you can start having tweaker tics, is what I call them. And I want to share something with you that was so embarrassing, you guys, but I had it for the whole first year that I was sober. And I was so ashamed and embarrassed. When I first got sober, because I shot meth for so many years, I used to talk like this out of the side of my mouth. I would talk like this. Even my husband would say something about it. Why are you talking like that, Nicole? You're talking out of the left side of your mouth. What is going on? Why are you doing that? Okay? I would look at myself in the mirror every day and I would try to talk and practice to get it to stop going like this. You're not going to find any videos of it because for the first year of my sobriety, I was so embarrassed that I kept talking out the side of my mouth like this. And what it was it was from the stimulants fucking up my nervous system. Okay? I also did some things where I would pick and I would pull and twist my hair. I still do this. Y'all see me doing this every day. I can't help it. This is just something I've always done since I was a little girl. But when I was tweaking, I would do it to the extreme. All right? Everything was magnified with me because of methamphetamine. So if you think I'm like fast and talkative now, imagine me on dope. Okay? So these are all things that like I had them the first year of my recovery, and now they've like really, really ended up going away. You know, but I tell all you guys all this to say this, okay? For me, working on my mental health has been the most important thing to, along with my recovery. Those two things are on the same wavelength. All right. Now, getting sober helped my mental health. Okay. Because I was no longer, you know, getting high and abusing drugs and being depressed and sad about the things that I have done and all the wrong that I was doing. So by getting sober, that helped a lot. But at 6 months sober, I hit a horrible, horrible wall where I was afraid. I was freaking out. You young mothers will know. You mothers who are just newly sober, how many of you guys are moms and have never parented your children sober? I didn't know how to be a mom sober. I had only parented high. Okay? Hey, Megan. So when I got sober, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to parent my son. I didn't know how to be a mom. And all I could think about was how I was a terrible mom. Okay? And so it was so hard. So 6 months, I had 6 months sober. Nate was in foster care. I had just gotten approved for unsupervised visitations. And so those were going really great. I was shooting for getting him overnights on the weekends because that was the next step. And all of a sudden, I just hit this wall like, I don't know how to be a mom. I don't know what to do. I don't even know anything. And I don't know how to work a job without being high. I don't know how to write a check. I don't have a bank account. I don't have a car. Okay? All of these things were things that I didn't know. I didn't have them. I had lost them to my addiction, and I had lost the ability to do things. I didn't know. Shoot, when I started driving, it was like I got my car. It was like all a new thing to me because I hadn't drove in so long. And so I had, luckily for me, and this is what I'm trying to get through to you guys, is that I had a counselor. I had a counselor that I could go and I could sit down and I could talk to her and I could tell her, Melysa, I am struggling. I don't know how to be a mom. I could tell her all the unrealistic things that I was thinking, because that's what would happen. I would go into these mind tangents where I would overanalyze things, and I would think that things were going to happen that really weren't going to happen because I was so worried all the time. And I was in a constant state of fear, because that's what happens when you're getting sober and you're learning a new life. You're constantly afraid of the unknown. Okay? And fear it can be a good motivator, but it can also really fuck with your life. And that's what was happening to me. Fear was fucking with me. I was so afraid to just go out of the house, because what if? What if I ran into Z? What if I ran into Tara? What if I ran into this person? What if I saw a bag of dope on the ground? Would I be able to not pick it up? All these things were going through my head constantly while my son is sitting in foster care. So the reason I'm sharing this stuff with you is because the way I've been able to overcome things and work through them is by getting into treatment and working with a counselor. Okay? I have a counselor that I still see to this day. All right? And that's what's so important. And I have a doctor who understands addiction. He is an addiction specialist, and he knows what I struggle with. He also knows every drug that I abused. So if I go to him and I'm like, hey, doc, I need some Adderall or some Adipex because I need to lose weight, he's not going to give it to me. I could go in there and I could say, I just can't focus on things. I'm just a hot mess. He does not care. He is not going to give me an amphetamine, because he knows that if he does, that is not going to be a good thing. I used to be able to go in and manipulate doctors and say, I need this, that, and the third, and I could get it because a lot of the things that I was saying were true. Yes, I did have anxiety. Yes, I did need to lose weight. That's how I got a prescription for phentermine when I was younger, because I was a chunky little thing and I was really embarrassed. And so my doctor wrote me a script for phentermine, which is basically legal amphetamines. Okay. That's what it is. That's what it is. Y'all remember Fin from back in the day. So you did Merc at 150 pounds? Damn, you're tall too. So that's the reason I'm sharing this with you guys, is because one of the things also that is really important if you're going to stay sober and work on your mental health is honesty. Okay? Being honest with your doctor and being honest with yourself. All right? We all know that we are addicts. Okay? And so, yes, I do have some things that I have to deal with upstairs that, they make my life a little bit uncomfortable sometimes. Could I use a good sleeping medication? Because a lot of the times at night, I can't shut my mind off and I think all night long. Sure. Oh, phentermine, Junior, phentermine. They used to prescribe it back in the day for ladies to lose weight. I think it's called Adipex now. But, sure, those things would help me. I would love to have something to help me go to sleep at night. And then also, I would love to have something to give me energy when I woke up. Okay? I'm just keeping it real, you guys. I'm just keeping it real. If I could have something to give me energy when I woke up and help me focus, then I would be a fucking beast. Y'all wouldn't know what to do. I'd be pumping out content left and right. Y'all would never be able to sleep. You think I put out a lot of content now? Shit. Let me go to the doctor and tell him that I'm struggling with some shit. I got you. So, what I'm saying is honesty and talking to your doctor, going in, making an appointment with a mental health professional, seeing a therapist, seeing an addiction specialist. These are all ways to get your journey started to a better you and a better mental health. Okay? My journey has been up and down. But I'm telling you this. I'm honest when I go in to see my doctor. I talk about what I'm going through. I don't lie about how I'm feeling. If I'm having a bad day, I share it. But guys, most of the time, what's a psychological evaluation like? Well, what happens is the doctor and a psychologist come in and they ask you a bunch of questions, a bunch. And the way you answer them and respond to them helps them decipher what's going on, I guess, upstairs. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know. But it's just they ask you a bunch of questions. And I'm just telling you guys, your mental health has to be just as important as your recovery. Because without a good mental health, without a sound mind, you're not going to be able to maintain your sobriety. You're going to be miserable. That's why I'm sharing this with you guys. I don't want any of you guys to struggle. And also, if you're newly sober and you're struggling with depression and anxiety, I want you to know that it's going to get better. It's going to get better. The longer you stay sober, a lot of those feelings will dissipate and it'll get easier. And you'll start feeling like, wow, she was right. I did just need to hang out and chill for a minute. Now, am I telling you, listen, if you are so depressed, you can't get out of the bed, you're having thoughts of suicide, you need to go and see a medical professional, okay? But what I'm telling you is, for me, the way I was, a lot of it was drug-induced. A lot of it was from the years and years of drug abuse. And today, I can wake up in the morning, I can go to work, I take care of my son. I try to do a good job keeping the house clean, but y'all see how that goes. I try to do the best I can, and that's all I can do. But I don't hate myself anymore. I don't feel that feeling of doom all the time like I used to. I used to feel so unhappy and full of fear. And a lot of it was because of my addiction and the things that I was doing during my addiction. If you're doing bad shit, you're going to feel like shit. Okay? If you're doing things that are right and good and selfless and positive things, then you're going to feel that way. It really is true. Okay? So I want you guys to listen. If you're lying, if you're cheating, if you're stealing, you're going to feel bad inside. If you're being honest, you're helping others, you're working your job and being a good family or a good parent or a good sister or brother, then you're going to feel good on the inside, you know? I know that a lot of people have things like my sister, bipolar disorder. And my sister felt so bad in the inside for so many years. And she got the help that she needed. But the only way she was able to get that help, thank you, Mark, was by asking for it and by telling someone how she felt on the inside. And so if you're feeling like, hey, Nicole, that's not the way I feel. Like, I got something more than just a little bit of depression and anxiety. I feel like there's something more going on. Then I'm telling you, you need to go see your doctor and you need to get an appointment with a therapist and you need to really start taking action and working on you because you are worth it. You're your own advocate. If you are at home and you're sitting in your room and you're thinking, I'm okay. This all's gonna pass. At least I'm staying off drugs. I'm here to tell you, okay? If that's what you're thinking you're gonna be able to do, then it's not gonna happen, okay? It's not gonna happen. You can't just sit in your room and expect expect to feel better, okay? It's really, really important, you guys, to go out and seek the help that you need no matter what, okay? And Sky, we all need a psychological evaluation. If you have been a drug addict and you were abusing illegal substances, you need to go ahead and write it down on your list of things to do. Go get a psychological evaluation, okay? We all need to do that. It's for your mental health. So think about it. If you take care of your body, physical health, you also need to take care of your mind. And when you come off of all these drugs, your mind has been affected, you guys. And so I'm telling you guys this because it's the best thing I ever did was go and find out like, hey, I'm okay. This is normal. These feelings that I'm having are normal. The feelings of, depression, the feelings of not being good enough, the feelings of being afraid of everything. Those were normal feelings in early recovery. Those are normal feelings in recovery, period. Okay, it doesn't matter how long you've been sober for. Okay, I know people that have been sober 10 years and they still struggle with those feelings. Okay, there's not some magic number that you're going to get to a certain amount of sobriety and then you're going to feel better and you're going to be cured, because that's not how it works. It's just like living life, right? It's a new day and it's a new experience every day. So I just want you guys, if you're struggling, if you're feeling like, any kind of feelings that are overwhelming, really look into getting help, really look into therapy, because it saved my life and it's helped me so, so much. Okay. Anyways, like I said, I'm not a doctor. The only thing I can do, you guys, is share with you guys my experience with my mental health and how I'm working through things. I have a lot of little things that are special about me, but that's what makes me me, and I'm proud of those things. And so my mental health is important, and I know that if I want to stay sober, I have to take care of my mental health. And it's true, and I hope you guys are taking care of yours. And if you're not, I hope this video encourages you to go out and take the proper steps needed to seek help for mental health. Okay, now I've seen some of y'all's comments about Ryan Leone. Okay, I saw his video today, you little turds. I saw his video today and I went over there, and I just have to say, I'm nervous. I'm scared for him. That's how I feel about that. I did see Megan's video today and I watched it, and I am always going to be here for her. I'm praying for her. I hope that she gets, an appointment with somebody and that she can really talk to, because I think that's really, really important, you guys. Mental health is nothing to play around with. It's so important, okay? And there's nothing to be ashamed of. If you have any mental illnesses, there's nothing to be ashamed of. I want to tell you guys a story about my nephew, okay? He's so special to me. I love him more than anything in the whole wide world. But when my nephew was born, he was having seizures. The umbilical cord was wrapped around his neck. It was bad. And so by the time he turned three or four, I think, he hadn't started talking yet. And so my mom actually works with developmentally delayed children. And so she took him to get him evaluated, and he ended up having Asperger's, which is a mild form of autism. And so he's amazing. He's so smart. He's grown up around our family, and we're all very loud. We're all very touchy feely. We all hold each other and hug each other, and you know, we're very like on top of it. You know what I'm saying? And so my nephew has really like been able to grow into the person he is, and he's amazing. He has no problems. He talks to people. He's a little socially awkward sometimes, but he's amazing because he has had a family who has been we have been on it with him. My mom had him in therapy as soon as he was able to start going to therapy, probably at 4 or 5 years old. Okay. And he has flourished into an amazing young man. He's driving a car. He's got a job. Okay. So just because you're diagnosed with a mental health illness, or, just a diagnosis, doesn't mean that you're less than a person. It doesn't mean that you won't be able to achieve any of the things in life that you want to achieve. In fact, it's going to make you even more special and more better. And it's so important to not be ashamed of anything like that, and learn everything you can. When you sit with your doctor and they diagnose you, if they diagnose you with something, you ask all the questions you can, and you educate yourself, and you be your own advocate, because it's important, you guys, and you're not alone. Like, don't ever feel like you're alone. Don't ever feel like you're not good enough, because that's just not the truth. There's so many different kinds of people out there. We're all special. We're all amazing. So, anyway, what else y'all want to know? Mental health has been a journey for me, though, you guys. Like, honestly, when I first got sober, if you had seen me, my first week of my recovery, the first week that I came out of treatment, you would have ran for the hills, because I was just so unstable. But it was because I had spent so many years abusing drugs, you guys, and I didn't know how to live my life. And I want to recommend something else to you guys. I didn't know how to live my life, so I went out and I found someone who knew how to live theirs and who had been sober longer than me, and I asked that person to help me. I see a lot of people who are not willing to do it. Hey, Nick. I see a lot of people who are not willing to do anything different. They only want to do what they want to do for their recovery. And I'm telling you guys, sometimes, most of the time, it takes you not doing what you want to do and humbling yourself and asking for help. Your way isn't working anymore. Hold on. Your face is really slimming up. I don't know if you saw my comment previously, but it is noticeable. Kudos, girl. Thank you. I want to know some of those psych evaluation questions. Yes, Ash, I bet you could Google them. I'm sure of it. Scroll your. And that's the thing, you guys. My way didn't work either, Sky. I'm telling you from personal experience. I also see this in other people. Like, let's use Ryan as an example. I really like Ryan Leone. I really do, you guys. But I see myself in him. I was the same way. I thought I knew what was best for me. And I had an addicted brain. I was dependent on substances where I thought that I knew what was good for me. And I could make my own choices. But it was so wrong. And it also really upsets me. I saw your comment, Captain. Suboxone, you guys, can save someone's life. Okay? But you have to use it as prescribed and not shoot it up. That's not the way Suboxone was intended to be used. And that's what I've been talking about all along. I know that Ryan has some great stories, you guys, because I love his stories too. But you guys got to stop doing what y'all are doing over there. Stop sending him money and stop enabling his behavior, because we're all going to enable him right into the grave. Stop enabling him. Stop letting him think it's okay what he's doing, because it's not. Suboxone is a life-saving tool, and I knew this was what was happening. I knew that's what he was doing, and it was just like, damn, man, why would you do that? Why would you? Because he's in his active addiction, because he's not willing to do what is suggested to him. I will tell you guys right now, if Ryan would get a sponsor, a man who had been sober for a good 7 years or something, 3 years, 2 years, longer than Ryan has been sober, and asked that man for guidance and actually put all of his effort into recovery, he would be a force to be reckoned with. But instead, he would rather put his energy into gloating and glorifying his addiction and trying to make himself famous off of it.
Can I have a cheese tortilla and Pringles?
Yes, I'll make you a quesadilla. That's what's happening. And I love him, you guys. I like him, okay? I'm not saying this because I don't like him, Nate. Sorry. I'm not saying this because I don't like him. I'm saying this because it needs to be said. It's the truth. We are co-signing his death by watching him do what he's doing, okay? This is an attention-seeking behavior. This is, I want to be famous from my junkie story times. And it's sad because he is so beautiful. He's so smart. He's so talented. And hey, Layla, where have you been, girl? I'm so glad you're here. Okay, I'm going to make Nate a quesadilla while I talk to you guys. I know the rehab he went to, and they did not prescribe him that. Nope. I know they didn't. I think. Yeah, you did see him on lockdown. Hey, Rosie. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I knew. I will. I knew that he would do that, you guys, because a lot of people were giving him shit when he first admitted to being on Suboxone. Ugh. What are you barely hanging on for, Sandra? What are you talking about, girl? Okay, let's take you guys over here. All right. Anyway. I'm so glad you popped on, girl. So anyway, let me get you guys. I'm going to put you all in the cabinet, okay? Oh, why does this do this? There we go. So anyway, please don't do what he's doing, you guys, okay? Please don't take what he's doing and say, oh, I want to get off Suboxone. I'm going to go do GHB, okay? Please, okay? Do not do that. The best thing you can do to get off Suboxone, if that's what you want to do, is taper, okay? Taper. Taper low and slow. Let me tell you guys this, okay? He got honest today in his video, which is the first time for everything. I couldn't believe that he got honest. He got honest, okay, guys, about shooting his Suboxone. He got honest about using illegal drugs after his friend passed away, which, I mean, we already all knew that, okay? We're all addicts. We're all addicts. We know that. We know what was going on, okay? It's always hard for me to watch somebody who thinks they have everyone fooled when they don't. They don't have anyone fooled, because we've all been there. And that's the hardest to watch. So, because he wants to make the choice he doesn't want to discuss anything with anybody who is actually going to, like, not let him do what he wants to do. Okay? He only wants to do what he wants to do. So you're telling me you've been getting high on top of shooting Suboxone, but you're going to get off Suboxone now? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Hold on, guys. All right. Hey, Melysa. And like I said, I like him. That's why I commented on his video. I said, you know, have you been able to stay sober? If you haven't been able to stay sober, then why are you getting off of subs? Hey, lab girl. Oh, he is. Well, I hope. I'm sure he is. You know, I hope he is. But that's all fine and well. But whenever you're basically loaded and getting high to get off of another substance, I hope he knows that that's not going to take away his withdrawal. He might not feel it right now, but it's not going to take it away. What is he going to do whenever he gets totally clean off of everything and he can't, you know, have anything in his system? I'm telling you, you guys, I don't see this ending well. And I'm not a hater, okay? I'm somebody in recovery who has been doing the same thing he's been doing. And I'm not, you know, you guys know that I'm not a hater. Y'all know that, okay? I'm just speaking from experience. And I see so many people on YouTube who get a little bit of a following and they're in recovery and they think, oh, well, I've got a following, you know, I can do this, that, and the third. And okay, so let me tell you what Vivitrol is. Okay, so Vivitrol is a shot. They give it to you, I want to say once a month. I think it's once a month. Anyways, what it is, it's a blocker. It's not Suboxone. It doesn't have buprenorphine in it. Okay, all it has in it is the blocker, the naloxone or naltrexone. Now there's another injection that they give once a month that is called Sublocade. Okay, and Sublocade has buprenorphine in it. And they give that to people so that way they don't have to fool with taking Suboxone. So that's another option if he can't seem to do it on the Vivitrol, you know. But somebody like him who has been doing drugs for a very, very long time, my suggestion to someone like Ryan Leone, who has been getting high for a long time, and also because of his celebrity status, I guess you could say, the people he hangs around being like people like who have a lot of money, all that kind of stuff. I would suggest for him to stay on Vivitrol as long as he can, forever, okay? And hopefully he'll seek out a real solution, which is recovery treatment. AA, Celebrate Recovery, Refuge Recovery, MARA, therapy and counseling. You know, these are all things that will help. No, it doesn't. It's just the blocker. These are all things that will help him to maintain his recovery. But that's another thing, like, you know, they try to say that it does help with cravings, but how can it if it doesn't have the opiate in it? You know what I mean? The buprenorphine in it. It's just, man, you know, Nate, come get your quesadilla. I'm going to do a whole video on Vivitrol because somebody asked me, Bill Gotti asked me to make one. There you go. This is what I'm going to have. Mommy, do you want some chicken? Tacos. Taco meat. Chicken tacos. Anyway. Oh. Okay. I just don't want to see anybody fall. And listen, you guys. Listen, you guys. I was very happy to see that he uploaded today because I was worried. But then I was like, damn, Ryan, you're on one, man. You know what I mean? So this is a real person we're talking about. This is his life. Just like he said on that video, he has a son. You know, I really hope for his sake that he humbles himself and gets real help and gets real recovery treatment, therapy or something, you guys. Because I don't see, if he doesn't, like, I don't know what's going to happen, but it's not going to be good, you guys. So I care about people, even if they are, you know, don't give a fuck about me. Like, I still want what's best, you know, for that person. And, you know, I watch a lot of YouTubers that are in recovery, and I want you guys to know that I've made these suggestions to Ryan. I've made these suggestions to other people who have recovery channels. And a lot of the times when I make suggestions about maybe, about maybe getting into a 12-step program or some kind of recovery program, I've had people get really upset with me for suggesting that. And so that tells me if somebody gets mad when you're trying to suggest something that could help save their life because they're an addict, that tells me that they're just not ready to accept anything, accept help. And so I can't make anyone go out and do that, you know? I can't push any kind of recovery on anybody. The only thing I can do is keep living my life in recovery and try to lead in a positive way, you know? But with recovery, it really takes you just taking responsibility, manning up, and being honest. It's not going to be comfortable. It's going to suck at the beginning. It's going to be hard. And I think what has happened to a lot of people in this world is we have gotten so used to doing what we want to do and getting things our way that we're not willing to go through a little bit of discomfort. And so I'm so glad that I have the family that I have, because my mom and dad, they taught me, you know? And so now that I'm sober and I'm manning up, I'm going to do the damn thing. You know, I'm going to keep doing the right thing and keep helping people and keep pushing forward. We can fool some of the people all of the time and all of the people some of the time, but we'll never fool all the people all the time. Hey, Daniel, that's right. Well, you can never fool an addict, you guys. Like, I know a lot of you guys, like, if you're watching my channel and you see that I'm like having a bad day or I may not be like my normal self, I'll get messages from you guys like, are you okay? Or, you know, I kind of feel like you've been down lately. And so it's crazy how we can like feel each other's vibes, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I wanted to make it because one of my girls asked me to talk about mental health, and the whole reason why I made it is because I want to stress to you guys how important it is to take care of your mental health, okay, and to seek out treatment, seek out recovery treatment. Please, you guys, if I can tell you anything today, it is stop thinking that you can do shit on your own. Do not be like I was, okay? Do not spend 10 years relapsing back and forth because you're too full of ego and pride to reach out for help. Okay? Get help. All you got to do is ask for help. All you got to do is go to therapy or get a doctor or go to a meeting. If you're an addict, you need help from an addiction specialist or another addict who has been sober and knows what you're going through. Because one, you can't manipulate another addict because we know your tricks. And two, addiction is a motherfucker. So you're going to need someone to help show you the way so you can fight your disease. I'm telling you guys, knowledge is power when it comes to the disease of addiction. Educate yourself, okay? All right. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys Friday night at 7 p.m. for our Mara meeting, and I love you guys. I love all y'all. Y'all know I do. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really enjoyed just sharing things with you guys. These meetings are everything, and you guys make them amazing. Ash, Kenneth, I love you guys. Mwah. God bless you too. Daniel, everyone that's in here. Deidra, Missa, Cindy, all my people. Junior. I'm sorry, I was doing the robot. I was about to be like... Okay, guys. I'm lame. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys Friday night for our merit meeting. And yeah, you know I might come on tomorrow night too, but I'm not sure about that. Leroy, I love you. I love you guys. Mad Feathers, love you too, girl. Mad Feathers, are you a girl? I think you are. I'm not sure. Anyways, I love you guys so much. Merc, Junior, Deidra. I'm just saying bye to y'all. Luca, I love you too. We're a community, you guys. We have each other's back. Joy, shout out Joy to the world. Rosie, love you, girl. Okay. I don't like saying goodbye to you guys, but I love y'all, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Oh, yeah. Hold on. Head over to Jexie's channel for trivia, you guys. Thank you, Merc. According to Jexie is having trivia right now. Let's all go over there and flood her live stream. All right? Bye, guys.